Tuesday, August. Thank you for that. Today is Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. We are gathered here today for the Municipal Financial Recovery Advisory Committee meeting, joined by Mr. Andrew Sheep on behalf of Governor Shapiro's office and the Department of Community and Economic Development, as well as Ms. Kelly Diaz on behalf of Delaware County Council. Unfortunately, we will not, well, as of this moment, we do not have confirmation from Mayor Kirkland and or Councilman Morgan, but we will proceed as we normally do. Good afternoon to both of you.
Good afternoon.
All right. And also under an assumed alias, we are joined here today by Mr. Cody Dill, who is filling in for Mr. Vijay Kapoor, who will not be able to join us here today. We have a relatively brief agenda, a meeting on tap, so I'll jump right in. Calling this meeting to order. Our first item is to address any public comment. I almost called you Mr. Kapoor. Mr. Dill, have we received any public comment?
Thank you. No, since our last meeting, we haven't received any public comments pertaining to the work of this committee. We would like to continue to encourage the public to reach out to us via email at info@chesterreceivership.com with any public comments for this group.
Thank you. I do want to acknowledge, though, I've received probably close to 200 emails from the Save the CWA organization, and we're usually not at odds. I want to specifically acknowledge the last email, though the thread is the same template being copied over and over. But it's encouraging us to work with the CWA to figure out a way to keep the asset in public hands. And as we navigate the federal process and arriving at a plan of adjustment, our goal is to do just that, but we still have a long way to go through the mediation process. So just want to thank you to the folks that are continuing to reach out. Your message is being heard, and please continue to do so, and we'll respond accordingly. Does anybody have any other public comment received by the committee or anything in response? All right, well, I wanted to acknowledge we are now joined by Mayor Kirkland. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
All right, so we are going to combine the next two agenda items, the status of the recovery plan, as well as a general update from me. And then we'll open it up to the committee for any additional comments that there may be or discussion points. First thing I wanted to update on is just that the federal mediation process, the bankruptcy process continues. The stage that we are in now is the mediation, although we are still addressing an appeal to the eligibility. That continues to move forward, and pretty confident there. But as we are in the mediation phase, and working towards a plan of adjustment, the mediations are continuing, excuse me. Would love for them to be moving a little faster than what they are. We are dealing with some hurdles there, but things are moving forward, and I'm encouraged that we will have something by the first quarter of 2024. The focus right now is what we're referring to as arriving at the number. What is the baseline number for operating the city into the future? What is really needed in each department, reinvesting into the operations, day-to-day operations, and also the capital needs, comparing that number to how the ability to generate revenue from monetizing assets, but with keeping those assets in public hands. So we're arriving at what is the delta, what is the difference between those two numbers, is the work of the federal process right now. And hopefully we'll have something by the end of this year, first quarter of next year, as far as a rough number of where we are, and then start working on how to address that delta. From the state level, we are still awaiting a decision from the state Supreme Court. So nothing new to report there. Hopefully we'll have something there soon. And then to a local level of just project management. I'll lump everything together in here. My usual reminder to visit the city's website to find out what vacancies are there, and to continue to encourage folks to apply. Financial reporting is moving along. The new CFO, Jim Lathrop, is making some good progress on reconciling the 2023 numbers. So I believe they're through May of 2023. And we are pretty close to having our first budget versus actual figures to really evaluate performance in the first quarter of 2023. So really excited about the financial reporting and how that is developing. At the same time, the 2020 audit continues. And I think we still expect to have that audit wrapped up by the end of this year, but that work continues simultaneously. As I mentioned before, in arriving at the number, assessments in each department continue as well. The current assessments are working on public works, police, fire was already completed, but it's public works and police are the two that are the focus right now. And ARPA projects continue to move forward. And for today, I wanted to share a bit of good news. The city releasing new trash receptacles. I believe we find the flyer here. Starting August 7th, just yesterday, through the 12th, citywide distribution of new household trash receptacles being delivered to your store, to your door, and it's barcoded or serial code so that they are assigned to each home and they're not transferable. These bins are larger than, or they're 65-gallon trash bins, so they're pretty decent size. Also able for the trash trucks to just pick them right up, empty them without the employee having to manually lift such a heavy can. Guidance, flyers, additional information is coming out from the city's Public Works Department. More information obviously can be obtained by contacting the City Hall. So just want to say a thank you to the Public Works Department and the City of Chester for continuing to push forward with this project. And hopefully over the next week or so, everybody will have a new larger trash bin at their home, and we can continue to clean up and just continue to make Chester a safer and cleaner environment. That concludes my general updates. Are there any questions of me or any updates from anyone on the committee?
Yes, I have a comment, actually. Mr. Receiver, at the last MFRAC meeting, you noted that the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority entered into a relatively short-term agreement with Covanta, and asked if I could provide insight into as to how that relationship is evolving and where do the parties see that heading in the long term. After that meeting, I did reach out to a few individuals at the county and the Solid Waste Authority, and I have a statement to read, and I'm hoping it'll shed a little bit of light on the current circumstances. The Delaware County Solid Waste Authority entered into an agreement with Covanta with an expiration date of April 25th, 2025, with 2 one-year options to extend upon the agreement of both parties. Significantly, this agreement, unlike the prior arrangement, does not include a minimum commitment as to tonnage of Solid Waste Authority waste to be burned at Covanta. The term of the agreement and the removal of the put or pay provision in the agreement reflects that the Solid Waste Authority is entering into a period of transition to include significant upgrading anticipated for its transfer stations. This transition results in uncertainties for the Solid Waste Authority's need to incinerate at the Covanta site. In fact, use of Covanta is on schedule to shrink by 12% this year, which amounts to about 45,000 tons. Future use is likely to continue shrinking, with the magnitude or timing of such further reductions still uncertain.
Thank you for that, Ms. Diaz. Being able to turn that information around that fast, I really appreciate you getting back to us or to me. I will ask that we continue to stay in the loop there and just over the next year and a half, see how that continues to evolve and try to stay ahead of it there. To be blunt, my fear is that we're working through the federal process. We arrive at a plan of adjustment, and then something major happens with the waste incinerator just after we've arrived at what that settled plan may be. And with that being a significant source of revenue for the city, we just want to factor that in, or take that into consideration as we're working through the plan of adjustment as well. So thank you for that, and I look forward to continue to interact about that part.
Thank you. I will pass that along.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anything else from any of the committee? All right, well, hearing none, like, thank you again for everyone coming out here today. We will reconvene in 2 weeks. I believe that is August 22nd, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Thank you and have a good day.